Hi guys, my name is Dr. Arohi Manyar and today we are going to talk about combination syndrome. So combination syndrome is a topic from prosthodontics and from the chapter of complete dentures. So what is a combination syndrome? It is a combination of changes in the maxillary and the mandibular arches. So Ellsworth Kelly in 1972 described or recognized this syndrome and named it as combination syndrome. So for the same we also call this as our Kelly syndrome. So the other name of combination syndrome is Kelly syndrome. So what you have to remember in this, so I have made a very funny diagram for the same. So you have to remember this. This is my maxillary arch which looks like an upset face, and this is my mandibular arch which doesn't look like a mandible at all, and these are my huge teeth. So this is just for the representation point of view, and this is just like a diagrammatic pictorial imagination that you can have. So you will be basically able to write about this. So keeping this diagram in mind, combination syndrome is our complete maxillary denture. So our maxillary arch is edentulous, we will put a maxillary denture there, and in our mandibular teeth we will only have our anterior teeth. So imagine this situation in your own mouth, that I don't have any maxillary teeth, it is completely edentulous, and I am putting a complete denture in the maxillary arch, whereas in the mandibular arch the only natural teeth remaining are in my anterior region. So this syndrome is also known as anterior hyperfunction syndrome. In the anterior region there is a hyperfunction, so it is also known as anterior hyperfunction syndrome. So what are the changes or what are the clinical features that occurs in our combination syndrome? So first we will look about all the changes in the mandibular arch, and after that we will see what happens in the maxillary arch. So the first point is the loss of the bone from the anterior maxillary region. Only the first point is, this is the first change to happen in our combination syndrome, that is why I have put it in the first point. So there is loss of ridge and teeth from the anterior maxillary ridge area. So loss of bone, and as the bone is lost, even our teeth are lost. So loss of bone from the anterior part of the maxillary ridge, the first change or the first clinical feature that happens in our combination syndrome. After that, now we have to just keep on remembering what happens after that. So if we don't have any teeth in the maxillary anterior region, what will happen? If this is my maxillary anterior region and this is my mandibular teeth, if I don't have a stop here, the mandible will anteriorly and forwardly translate. The mandible wouldn't have a stop. Our maxillary anterior teeth happens to be our stop for the maxillary movement or the mandibular movement. So the forward and the anterior translation of the mandible wouldn't happen, it would happen, and this will also lead to the supra eruption of the mandibular teeth. As there is no stop, the mandible will move anterior and forward. As it moves forward, the teeth will also start to supra erupt because it doesn't have a stop. So these are the 2 points. The last is bone loss in the mandibular posterior region. So why I made this funny diagram? It is to remember that there is bone loss in the mandibular posterior region. Okay. So these are the 3 points. First, as there are no teeth in the no bone in the maxillary upper area, maxillary ridge, there will be forward and anterior translation of the mandible. Because of the translation, there will be eruption of the teeth in the mandibular anterior area. And also, what about the posterior area? There will be bone loss in the posterior area. Moving on further to all the maxillary points. So there will be flabby and hyperplastic tissue or hyperplastic ridge. So this is my maxilla. There is overgrowth of tuberosities. These are the tuberosity region, and the tissue that will be here over the ridge will be my flabby or hyperplastic tissue. There will be downgrowth of tuberosities as it is shown in the picture, and because of all these changes there will be dearrangement of the occlusion plane. Because there are downgrowth of tuberosities, loss of bone from the posterior region in the mandible, supra eruption of the mandibular anterior teeth, our occlusion plane will be disarranged. So how to prevent our combination syndrome? So how to prevent a patient from undergoing all these changes in the mouth? First of all, in the posterior region we have to prevent our loss of tooth. So if we have a vertical stop in the posterior area, we would be able to have our occlusion plane straight. So to preserve the posterior teeth in the maxillary area, The second is if the teeth are already lost, you can ask the patient to go for endo-osseous implants. And the third is overdentures. So to prevent this condition from even worsening, before these all changes happen, we can ask the patient to go for overdentures and we can stabilize the patient's occlusion. And what happens after the patient comes to you with a syndrome like this, with a very bad dearrangement or a very dearranged occlusion plane? The only thing you can do for combination syndrome is go for surgical procedures. You have to reduce the tuberosities, you have to add bone graft in the mandibular posterior region, you have to arrange the whole occlusion plane, give it a new vertical dimension and a new jaw relation for such kind of cases. So that is all about our combination syndrome from complete dentures. Thank you. Hi guys, I hope you will like this video. Please hit the bell icon and subscribe to my channel for the upcoming notifications. Also, don't forget to comment in the comment section below about the topics that you want me to discuss later on. And to get in direct touch with me, you can also DM me on my Instagram ID, which I will be putting in the description box below. Thanks for watching.